Good morning friends. In today's class, I'm going to present about program level performance analysis. So what is program level performance analysis? The embedded system must perform functions in real time. So we often need to know how fast the program runs. So in this presentation, we study how to analyze the programs to estimate their runtime. We also examine how to optimize programs to improve their execution time. So in this presentation we are going to see about estimation of the runtime as well as the optimization of the execution time. So in order to understand the total execution time of our program, we must look at the execution path, which in general are far longer than the pipeline and cache windows. The pipeline and cache influences the execution time, but the execution time is a global property of the program. The cache and pipeline are the windows for our program. So through this diagram, we can able to measure the total execution time. The cache and pipeline influences the execution time, but the execution time is actually a global property of the program. So some of the challenges which we are facing during the measurement of the execution time are the input data values, because those values select different execution path in the program. The cache has the major effect on the program performance, and once again the cache behavior depends in part on the data values input to the program. The execution time of the instruction in pipeline depends not only on the instruction but on the instruction around it in the pipeline. We can able to measure the program performance in several ways. Some of this simulator goes beyond functional simulation to measure the execution time of the program. Simulation is clearly slower than the executing program on the actual microprocessor, but it also provides much greater visibility during the execution. A timer connected to the microprocessor bus can be used to measure performance of executing section of the code. A code to be measured would reset and start the timer at its start and stop the timer at the end of the execution. The logic analyzer can also be connected to the microprocessor bus to measure the start and stop times of the code segment. This technique relies on the code being able to produce identifiable events on the bus to identify the start-stop executions. So we are interested in the following three different types of performance measures on the program. The first one is average case execution time. This is the typical execution time we would expect for a typical data. Clearly, the first challenge is defining typical inputs. Worst case execution time. The longest time the program can spend on any input sequence is clearly important for the system that must meet the deadlines. In some cases, the input set that cause the worst case execution time is obvious, but in many cases it is not. Best case execution time. This measure can be important in multi-rate real-time systems. The next is elements of the program performance. The key to evaluate the execution time is breaking the performance problem into parts. So in order to find out the execution time, we can able to measure the program path as well as the instruction timing. So combining these two, we can able to measure the execution time. So the path is the sequence of the instruction executed by the program. The instruction timing is determined based on the sequence of instruction traced by the program path, which takes into account data dependencies, pipeline behavior, and cache. Here, this example shows you a data dependency. So, how to measure the instruction timing by using the data dependent program path. So, here we got three variables. One is A, B, and C. Three variables are there. So, those variables named it as test1, test2, test3. So we have a for the 3 variable, we have a combination of 8 values 0, 0, 0 to 1, 1, 1. Now, how the program path will proceed? So, if the statement is true, if the test case 1 is true, means it will execute this path. So, here there is a test case 2 and we got a assignment statement. So, this statement is assignment 1 and the else part is assignment 2, and the third path which is the common for this B test case, test 2 case, this Z is common, the assignment 3, and here is the assignment 4. So, once the program is executed, means it will execute all 4 assignment if the test case is true or false. Now, we will come to the path identification. So, if the test 1 is false, where the program will go? So, here the test 1 is false, means it will go and check, it will go to the else case. Here the test case 3 is also false. Why? Because here C is 0. So, A is also 0, C is also 0, which means that it will not execute test 1 as well as test 3. So, both are false. So, there is no assignment to execute. So, it will go to the next case. So, here which case is true? C is true. Where is the C? Here. So, directly it will come to the assignment 4. It will execute the, once this part is true, means, so it will execute the this path alone. So, it will execute the assignment 4 alone. Then coming to the B. Next case, that is 0, 1, 0. Here B is true. B is true means it will execute the test 1 is false. Now you have to check, test 1 is false, but test 2 is true and test 3 is also false. So, once this test 1 is false, means it will come out of the loop to the else case, rather proceeding with the test case 2. So, here it will come out of the loop. Here test case 3 also false. So, there is no assignment to execute. It will come out when 0, 1, 1. 1, 1 means B is also true and C is also true. So, B is true means what it will execute? So, first it will check test 1. It is failed. So, it will come out of the loop and come to else part. Test case 3 is true, that is C is true. So, it will execute only assignment 4. So, like this the program execution path is determined using the data dependency of the program. After ignoring the catchy effects, the techniques are summarized below to calculate the execution time. Not all the instructions take the same amount of time. For example, load store instruction takes longest execution time, whereas the floating point instruction takes different time of execution for the different data types. Execution time of instruction are not independent. For example, many CPU use register bypassing to speed up the instruction sequence when the result of the one instruction is used in the next instruction. As a result, the execution time of the instruction may depend on whether its destination register is used as a source for the next operation. The execution time of the instruction may depend on the operand values. This is clearly true for floating point instruction, in which a different number of iterations may be required to calculate the results. So, the next is measurement driven performance analysis. The most direct way to determine the execution time of program is by measuring it. So, here through the program trace we can able to measure it. So, in that we can able to combine the determination of the execution path and the timing of the path. As the program executes, it chooses a path and we observe the execution time along that path. The next is figuring out a useful set of inputs to provide the program, but there is a software scaffolding problem. So, what is that? So, we may need to feed the data into the program and get data out. When we are designing a large system, it may be difficult to extract out a part of the software and test it independently of the other parts of the system. So, we may need to add new testing modules to the system software to help us introduce a testing value and to observe testing outputs. So, this is a software scaffolding problem. So we can able to measure program performance either directly on the hardware or by using simulator. So the hardware type, we can able to use the program counter value as well as the logic analyzer. So if we are taking the simulator, we can use the cycle accurate simulator, which performs a sufficiently detailed simulation of the processor's internal so that it can determine the exact number of clock cycles required for the execution. Thank you.